Welcome back, guys. It's still Gordy and I, and we are back on the set of our podcast, Heather Whatever, and Heather is still gone because she doesn't give a shit about us. But this podcast is obviously brought to you by HeatherPresley.com. Go there and check it out. We got a lot of new summer stuff, a lot of bathing suits, a lot of new stuff that's coming, and we still have the discount there. I don't know if it's 2023 or if it's just an automatic discount for 60% off. I know it's one of those. So go check it out and get yourself some summer stuff. Be looking good, you know. Or if your guys, you know, your girl, I know you guys are listening to this shit. You don't ever admit it. You know, these guys, they don't admit it. Like some of my buddies, they're like, no, I don't listen to it. But my wife said that this and this and this. I'm like, motherfucker, you listen to it.
Yeah, this is just as much a dude show as a girl show. Like it started and like we didn't know what was going to happen.
Yeah.
And then like it took such a crazy left turn. Like the first two episodes, like, well, we're in this space now.
Yeah.
Didn't think that's where we were going to be, but here we are.
Yep.
So yeah, no, it's an everything show.
Yeah. And it's very, you know, if you think it's changing lives. We've changed people's lives.
We
you
have.
know?
Yeah.
So we've heard, you know, so it's good.
for better, for worse.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. None of it's better, but it's one of those, you know.
Yeah.
But we're still changing lives. That's all that counts. Anyway, so I wanted to get into this episode and talk about, even though she's not here to talk about it, but my wife has, and I have fully submerged ourselves back into the gym.
That's
and we've been working out. Heather has lost a ton of weight. She's all thin. And I'm proud of her. She's like really doing a good job. And it's cool to see, you know, I think people don't realize. So I was watching the video and the guy basically said, you know, when Heather and I met each other, we were in the best shape of our lives. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm not saying that she wasn't, but we were just in peak. We were in our prime, you know. And then I got sick, had the heart surgery. So like I lost a lot and I lost who I was. And I don't know if people realize it, but it changes you. You get depressed. I mean, it's upsetting, you know? And so there's times you look at yourself and you're going, where the fuck did that come from on my back? You know, like, where'd that fat come? I don't never had that shit there. Or like, where did this come from? Like, why is there this, like these rolls now? Like, and I'm getting older, but Heather it's cool because I've gotten to see Heather who, I'll be honest, like she had put on some weight. Did you see me just twitch? That was crazy. But because
you're expecting her to hit you.
Yeah, I was like,
she's not here.
She's
like you're bracing for impact.
Yeah, but you know, over the years she stopped working out, and a lot of it was due to the fact that I got sick and she had to hold the fort down.
Right.
You know, so she didn't really have time to. But so she did. She put on a little weight, and she'll admit it. You know, but she still was hot as, you know, still more beautiful than any other woman out there. But I could tell that it brought her down, and it was like, you know, it made her a little depressed. And now she's been working out every day. She's been eating good. She's been tanning. She's been like really taking care of herself, like self-care, you know, washing her face. Like her face is all shiny. Like everything's looking good. And I've noticed that it's changed her. And it's like she's happy now. And she's bubbly. And she's kind of like, you know, it's scary a little bit because she is being like kind of a strong, you know, independent woman, which scares me because I'm like, she's hot. I'm old. I'm not what I used to be. She's probably going to fucking get all hot and like leave me and be like, I deserve better now. To whereas before when she's depressed, she's like, that's as good as it's going to get right there. You know what I mean?
That's the most controlling shit I've ever heard in my life.
Know.
That's so not right.
I'm struggling with it though.
You need to go to a therapist.
Yeah. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh my gosh.
But no, she thinks that's time. But no, I'm actually really happy for her. And it made me think like, so for instance, my dad who's got cancer and treatments aren't going good. So we're not really sure what's going on with that. But he was always a beast growing up. And I don't know if we've talked about this, but big guy, strong guy, went to the gym every day.
Yeah.
And then now I've noticed that his legs were swelling, so he can't walk. And now he can a little bit. But what I'm getting at is for 4 or 5 months, he didn't walk.
Yeah.
And now my dad went from being like a sturdy guy to he's shaky on his feet.
Yeah.
You know, like and so we used to laugh about that video. I've fallen and I can't get up.
Yeah.
Remember that video?
Right. The life alert little button thing.
It's an 80s thing. If you're a fucking lame that was born in the 2000s, you wouldn't understand it. But it was, you know, anyways, we thought it was funny. Like, these fucking idiots, how can they not get up? I'm starting to realize, especially after what happened to me and then what I'm seeing with my dad, like, you got to move, man.
Right.
It doesn't mean you got to work out and you got to fucking look a certain way. You got to move if you want to live, because if you stop moving and you stop eating at least decent, or it's mainly the moving. If you stop moving around, man, I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it's going to cripple you. And my biggest fear is falling and not being able to get up.
Yeah.
Could you imagine being there?
Yeah.
You're stuck in a fucking corner, broken hip, and you don't even have the strength to get yourself up? No. Fucking roll. No, I'm done at that point. I don't want to live like that, you know?
Yeah.
Scary. So, yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, it's
So
you run every day though, right?
I have been. Well, lately,
do you feel like if you're not, you're like depressed?
Yeah, no, I've had that. The last couple weeks have been rough though. So after the LA marathon was over, really have to give yourself more time, and I hadn't given myself enough time in the past. And I was really reading some stuff. They're like, you got to give yourself like 2, 3, 4 weeks because you got these microscopic tears in your legs, and like,
what do you mean? You got to start running again?
Yeah, before you really start hitting it hard again, because like you've done so much trauma to your body, and it is true, and that's kind of why I enjoy it though.
Body, huh?
It's part of the reason why I enjoy it though, because it's like
Yeah.
I'm gonna put myself through hell for 6 hours, and that's usually my time, 5 and change.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put myself through hell for 6 hours. And I'm gonna feel good about myself for like 20 minutes after.
Yeah.
That's kind of, and so I gave
feel
myself
good about it for. I mean,
oh yeah, and I
that's
gave
a big
myself plenty of
accomplishment.
recovery
Yeah.
time, and then I went back to the gym and kind of did a few things, and then I started going back, and I'm not training for anything quite yet, but I started going back, and then I hurt myself like a dumb shit.
Yeah.
Hurt myself doing deadlifts with kettlebells. Hurt my
yeah.
back. That always happens, right? So I've been recovering, and then I got sick, as you can hear. So the last week has been a no-go because between the back injury and the sickness. So, I mean, I feel okay, and I know it's just a matter of time I'll be back, and I'm not worried about it anymore. But what helps me is I'll go back and look at pictures. Like, that's why, like, Facebook is great, because I'll see memories just like 10 years ago, and I'm like, holy crap, I was fat. Like, you could just see in my face. And even then,
You're like, who's that fat fuck?
and that was after I lost some weight. Beforehand, I was really fat before that.
Yeah.
And so I look at stuff now, I'm like, all right, well, I'm definitely not, I'm still 50 lbs lighter than I was, so I'm not going to go back to that. But yeah, you're right. It makes you feel better.
It does.
Just to be up. And I usually do it early in the morning. And I just need to not get hurt.
But you think
like
about
dumb
it.
Shit.
You think about it like if something happened in your life and you had to run and you had to get away from something, or you needed to like seriously think about how many people can't just do that.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
let's say, for instance, something that I always think about, like in this situation, is the shooting in Vegas.
Right.
That shooting in Vegas, people had to run, they had to fucking jump fences, and they had to. I'm gonna tell you right now, we had heard stories like a lot of those motherfuckers were throwing people over because they couldn't even climb a fence.
Right.
So
right.
imagine being so out of shape, or just don't even have the ability to get out of a situation that you need to. That's scary, man. Like, so yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, people think you got to look a certain way, and I'm kind of getting, when I'm sitting in the gym, like, I don't feel like I am what I used to be, but and I'm not strong like I used to be. There's girls that lift as much as me now. You got to get rid of that ego, and I just want to make sure that I can live my life, and I can take care of myself.
I got this dude in my gym. He cracks me up. I haven't seen him in a while. Like I said, I've been there about a week, but he's like super nice guy, right? And I just don't think he's all there though mentally, and he's jacked, right? So I don't know if he's on some shit, whatever. He might be on some
How old is
gear. Who knows? I don't know. He's probably in his 30s maybe.
He's probably is, but
anyway, it's funny because he's that dude, and he, like I said, super nice. He fist bumps everybody. I don't even know the guy.
Yeah.
He'll be like, "Hey, what's up, man?" That kind of thing. So super nice guy. But
does he yell in the gym?
Yes, he does. He's that guy, but he's funny because he'll be like, "Come on, motherfucker!
Oh my
Once
God.
more, bitch!" Like, and it's hilarious. I mean,
Nobody complains.
No,
is
and
it
it's
because he's such a nice guy?
maybe, but it's like we're there early in the morning. There's no staff there. It's just like key card, get in,
Oh,
and
okay.
He'll be like, "Come on, pussy!" And he'll like just be yelling
Holy
stuff.
shit.
And everyone's got headphones in, but you can still hear him. Like, I'm running in another room one time, and I had another buddy. I had a buddy of mine. He's always there too. And so we would text each other. Like, I'd be on the treadmill running, training, and my buddy's in there lifting. You'll hear him like, oh, motherfucker, one more time. And
Yeah.
like my buddy will start texting me like, hey, you need to keep it down in there on the treadmill. Like, you know, like, oh my God, it's hilarious.
One more fucking mile.
Yeah, pussy. Like
Yeah.
he'll just yell that stuff out loud. And like there's women around.
Dude,
and he's just,
yeah, that's kind of crazy. I'm surprised nobody's complained.
like I said, no one's there. There's no staff
Yeah.
there. It's just people. And like I said, he's a nice dude.
What
and
gym
like,
is it?
It's
Or
just
no,
a
never
little.
mind.
It's just a
Hey,
little hole in the wall gym.
So
But
why
it's
can't you
hilarious.
video that shit and bring it in so we can see
I
this?
should probably try. I haven't
Yeah.
seen the dude in a while, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe he moved gyms but yeah,
That
I'll
shit's
have to
annoying.
record it.
I can't see when people do that shit.
It's
but
it's. I mean, I don't mind like a grunt.
a grunt. Yeah, I'm a
but this
grunter.
guy's like, "Come on, motherfucker!
Yeah.
2 more, motherfucker! Let's fucking go!"
Yeah, and the thing is like they have headphones in, so they don't realize how hard,
How
how
loud
loud
it
it
is.
is. They're
Yeah.
fucking loud, dude.
Oh my God, it's hilarious. I don't know. It's funny. I don't. It doesn't bother
Do you ever
me.
do you ever work out with like any bodybuilders? Like, oh my God, I don't
No.
work out with them, but I'm saying I've been in gyms where they work out and they're just like that. They're yelling and they're fucking screaming, and like I stay the fuck away from those guys because they're dicks, dude. Like if you interrupt them, like if you go, hey, are you using that, dude? They're like. They get like mad at you.
Really?
And you're like, I'm not trying to steal your fucking set. Like, you think because you're buff, you won't get knocked out? You fucking worm, dude. Like, the buffer you are, the probably the easier it is to knock you out.
Your
think
arms are
'cause
so
you're-
big, you got no
You
reach on
think
your
because you're
punches.
strong that you're tough? You're a
Yeah.
fucking pussy, dude. That's
Yeah.
why you're doing all that shit.
Yeah, no, I don't. My gym's pretty laid back.
I
but-
shouldn't have said that because there's probably some guys that listen to this, dude. Now, there are some tough guys, but I'm saying some of the guys I've met that were bodybuilders, I'm like, I know some tough ones, but some of the ones I met, they were dicks. I was like, dude, you're a pussy. You know you are.
They're just there for the look.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
They're just there for the look. Yeah. No, it helps you feel better though. Like I said, this past, I've been actually pretty good this past week. Like, and I think being sick helps actually because I'm not like eating crappy because I don't feel like eating
you don't
anything.
feel like eating.
So they're just
I
like,
love that.
whatever. I know it's a good like. Okay,
I
cool.
do.
I can go to the gym and not be eating like a clown. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to get back to. And you're supposed to be like, I figured it out a couple years back. Like I got to have something on the calendar to train for. And that's gonna be me
100%.
forever. I know
100%.
like
I'm the same way.
I know you shouldn't have to do that, but I got to have something like, hey, I'm getting ready for this.
Whatever
I'm getting ready
works,
for
you know?
this. Like it just makes me have to show up. If not, I'm like, I can have
That's why,
this week.
yeah, that's why it's been hard for me too, because for years, we're talking 14 years, I had tournaments and fights to train for. And so I was always, and man, I'm gonna tell you right now, when you know how it is when you're doing that marathon training, when you're doing it, or like when you're training for a fight, dude, you'll be sitting there training like, and I'll be visualizing the fight,
Right.
and like visualizing like what's going to happen and it pumps you up and it gives you like a different kind of a workout.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, so not having that in my life, which I'm hoping to get back eventually, but because it's still only been like a year and a couple months. They said I wouldn't be nowhere near all the way healed for 2 years. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I still got a little bit of ways to go, but I will say I'm getting a lot better. But yeah, I'm the same way. I have to have something to look forward to. Maybe we're going on a trip and we're going to be at the beach. I'm going to have my shirt off. Like we're going to be going to Bass Lake again this year. Remember, isn't that crazy? We went to Bass Lake last year. That's when
Yeah.
we first started the show.
Yeah.
Right? Because you know what? When we were in Bass Lake, around all my family, we played the first episode
First
for
couple episodes,
everybody.
and they're like,
the
"What?"
first
The
episode, and they were like,
catfish episode. Nick
Yeah.
got catfish.
the one when I was like super awkward, the first half of it, I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's weird.
I
to
thought
hear-
it was a chick and it was a dude. They
Yeah.
wanted me to touch his wiener. Yeah.
The truth comes out. I touched his wiener anyways.
1 year
No.
later.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, I'm the same way. I got to have some kind of like something to train for. And I look at
Yeah.
it like you have to go into it like a fight. Like
Yeah,
anyone
you do.
you have to figure it out. Like even on
Yeah,
a
you're
running
right.
course,
It is
you
a fight for life.
It's a fight.
really.
It's a
Yeah.
fight between me and the course and the elements and all that stuff. Like it really is. And you don't. It's like when you train for a fight, you're training for the unknown. Like I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know how
Yeah.
I'm gonna feel that day. Like I could
And
feel
that
great.
matters. Yeah, you could have a day where you're just not feeling it.
I could feel terrible. Like
Have you
I
had
mean,
that happen?
I think last year in New York, like I was, because
The
I
one
was,
that I tracked you?
yeah, because I was injured a lot during the training.
I remember that, yeah.
And I was a lot slower. The conditions were terrible. It was hot and humid in November, which was awful. And I just didn't. And then I did too much touristy shit like leading up to
Yeah.
it, so my feet hurt like 2 miles in, I'm like, this is gonna be a long ass day.
I was gonna say when it gets like that, you're going, fuck. It's only been 2 miles. You get like that, huh? Sometimes
it was like at mile 4. I'm like, my feet are killing me, and I'm like, man, I got 22.2 more to go. Like, you know, and you're like, all right, whatever. Like, just button down and get it done, like one after the other. So, and then like in LA this past year, like you always gotta. For some reason, I couldn't shit in the morning. I just couldn't. And so I'm like, well, I like a little bit.
Have you ever stopped to shit?
No, I haven't, thank God. But I'm like, all right, well, I don't want to have to. So, like, let me take this like Imodium, right? Well, the problem is, dude. Here's the problem.
It takes a while to kick in.
No. It's not even that. It was like, I felt like it was sitting on deck, but I didn't have to go.
Wait, Imodium makes it hard, right?
Yeah, it makes you Imodium makes you like not have to go. It's like anti-diarrhea, right?
Oh, dude, but that'll fuck you. Did you have a big shit afterwards?
I felt like it was like sitting at the bomb doors.
Yeah,
but I didn't have
to go. But the doors
weren't
weren't big enough to open yet.
But I didn't have to open them yet. Like the whole way, like I was carrying a couple extra pounds.
You just felt that softball. Just boom,
exactly.
Boom,
it was
boom.
a softball in my intestine for 26 miles.
Oh, it's crazy.
Awful. Never doing that again.
I'm so glad we got on this subject of taking shits. But you know what's so crazy is dude, I've had some shits before, and I'm assuming you have too. But I've had a few that like I'm gonna be honest with you, like I would imagine that it's what having a baby's like, because I've had it to where it's ripped my ass, like where it's ripped me so bad that I was bleeding and like, oh yeah, dude, I've had some shits before where I was like trying to hold it because I whatever, and then it got hard. And dude, I had one time where I was actually fucking pulling it out with my finger, dude. I was going in there because it got stuck in there, and I was sitting on the toilet for like 6 hours. I sat on the toilet for so long, I brought a TV and put it in front of the toilet, and I was just going back and forth like, and I couldn't get out. And then finally that thing came out, and it felt like a fucking kid came out of me, and it ripped me, and like dude, and it slowly came out, and I was just going, I was like yelling, and then finally that thing just went, floop, and I was like, it was the most relieving thing I've ever felt in my life. But yeah,
you didn't get that checked.
You ever had one of those before?
You need to drink more water. Doesn't mean you got to drink more water.
Well, at the time, it was a bad time in my life. It was when I was having my my problems that I was having when I was younger.
That makes it worse, right? That's what killed Elvis.
It does.
That's what killed Elvis.
Yeah.
Too many pills, and then he died on the shitter because he couldn't get it to come out.
Yeah, it makes it hard. It's
don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah,
that's why.
Don't do them.
I mean, you can smoke some weed or something, but like just don't take none of that nonsense stuff. Like that's what kills you. Those are the side effects we don't talk about. Yeah. You know? Like that's for real.
That's one thing that as much as like the whole thing that I went through, like the drug time and all that, like as much as I regret it, but I would never go back and change any part of my life, because I am who I am and I'm where I am, and it's it's a part of it, there's nothing wrong with it. But I don't think people realize, man, high school and all this, especially now, and we've talked about it, but fentanyl and all that. But I think drugs, man, like I don't think people realize it, but I think it's doing damage physically, and I think it's doing damage mentally. Yeah. And I think, I think I have anxiety and stuff like that because of the stuff I was doing. I think it's made it worse. And I don't know, maybe it doesn't. Maybe I just was going to have anxiety when I got older, or depression. Like, right. I don't know how it works, but I think this stuff is just, man, it sucks. And now it's like you can't even try anything anymore because there's a good chance you're going to die if you try it. Well, fentanyl is in everything now.
Fentanyl is a lot of shit.
It's in cocaine. It's in everything. Yeah. It's not just fentanyl.
People are even like lacing their weed with it. Like,
I know.
It's crazy.
They take one hit of weed in high school and they're fucking dead. God, it's scary that we have to live through that.
Right.
Our parents didn't have to live through that. We had that dirt weed.
Yeah, the dirt weed, dude.
I love that stuff, though.
Yeah.
It was the best.
I mean,
man. You'd have fucking just bagfuls, and it just for $4, dude.
Yeah, exactly. Like Willie Nelson said, and I remember when dime bags cost a dime. Yeah. But no, it was. That's the crazy part. Like even now, like okay, first of all, the weed now is way better. But
But is it?
But I think it is because we scienced the shit out of it.
I think
now.
it is, but I think it's almost too strong.
It depends.
I don't do it, but the few times I have tried it, I was like, no, this shit is like a drug. It's like a full-blown drug now.
Yeah.
To where dirt weed back in the days, it just made you kind of tired,
right?
And made you hungry, and you just kind of
hungry,
chilled. You know, it wasn't like, and you could smoke it all day.
Yeah,
you could sit there and just puff it, so you felt cool. You know, now it's like you take a fucking bong hit of that thing and start coughing, you're cooked for the rest of the day, dude.
But now they got different. You can get you want the energy blend, you want the indica blend, you want like sativa, like all kinds of stuff. We've scienced the heck out of it.
I need to try it because
for anxiety, a lot of people are going down that route now.
Yeah,
because
I
it's
just don't
better
want to be
than
paranoid.
Like
I don't like that.
See, and that's where it comes in right now. Like, there's so much stuff now where you don't have to be like. They've got it figured out where you can have the strains that don't make you paranoid. They just make you chill. Like, and like you get that right dosage of whether it's weed, whether it's edible, where you're just like chill. Like that was me. I mean, at recently at a concert, man, just enough to where it was chill and cool, and but you weren't stupid.
Wait, you ate it?
Oh yeah, and you weren't
what was
stupid.
it, like a gummy?
Yeah.
Oh,
and it was like 5 milligrams. It was perfect, dude.
Yeah.
Show was good. Appreciated the music, the lights. You're like, all right, cool. Like, and then
you had a good time.
Yeah, it was fine, but I wasn't stupid.
And
I even drank a beer.
It was enhanced by that.
Even drank a beer, like, and I was cool, and I wasn't stupid, and it was just like you were mellow, and that's what a lot of people have gone that route instead of taking like Xanax, that kind of stuff, because man, that stuff mess you up.
Yeah.
Because I took that a long, long time ago, and it's made you like. Just not give a shit about anything.
Xanax is the worst thing I
took
hated
like a
it.
generic version, I think, for anxiety.
Yeah, I did too.
A couple times, and I was like, "This sucks." I could tell
I
didn't like myself.
Do you remember the taste?
Yeah,
like it made your body, like your mouth have.
It just made me not care. I
didn't like it. Yeah, we talked about. I didn't like it either.
Care. And I'm like, I don't like not having a feeling. Like I'd rather have anxiety than have this feeling of just like. F at all, like I don't care.
Yeah.
I didn't like that at all. So anyway, no, it's crazy what. But you're right, like the drugs, like people, and the thing is, man, it's like weird stuff that kids are coming up with, and like, put Benadryl in your butthole or whatever they're doing, dude. It's stupid. Like I don't get it, and they find this shit on TikTok, and like, golly, like stop already.
Have you heard of the butt chug?
You mentioned that I think in the past, like
the fucking butt chug, dude. Do you know what that means? Here's how when I imagine how it. Well, let me first explain what it is. Butt chug is you put a beer bong in your butthole, and then you do a beer bong in your butthole. But
it has to be a Bud Light.
I'm assuming, yeah. but if you think about it, you know what that makes me think? Like when I was younger. This is how that conversation would have went the first time it happened. We'd be like at a party, and some dude would be there that we're like, this dude's a fucking dork, like fuck this guy. And we'd be like, hey man, guess what? There's a new way to drink.
Yeah.
Stick this fucking beer bong in your butthole, and you're gonna get toasted. And then they did it, and he was like, holy shit, it worked. But they did it just to clown, But like that's how I imagine it happening. Could you imagine being at a party? And everybody's like, who's up next for the butt chug? Like, it was, like, okay to do that.
But it's totally acceptable now. That thing is acceptable because it's like...
Dude, if you did that when we were young, you'd be like, you fucking hoe.
What a weirdo.
Like,
yeah. What a weirdo.
Yeah.
No, now it's totally acceptable because, like, again, the sexualization is not a big deal. Like I said, kids meet each other and like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. Can I get your number? Yeah, nude.
Yeah.
Like, that's up. That's what's up. That's what happens now. Like, that didn't happen back then. That shit was protected. In some form or fashion,
dude. That's so crazy though. If you think about that, like just sending nudes. Because man, I'm glad I didn't have no fucking phone back or pictures. Pictures. I wouldn't want to have that stuff. Where we could see that. Now it's like you do the wrong thing with that picture. Someone sends you a nude. I mean, you got to be careful, man, because if that thing somehow gets out, like you can get in a lot of trouble for that shit.
Never sent one. Nope. Never have. Never will. I'm good.
We've talked about that. You've never even sent one to your wife, just like fucking around, like
never.
Here's I'm hard for you or something.
No. The funniest thing we did one time is I took a picture. Like I was camping with my buddies and we were sending pictures to like his new girlfriend, and so we literally were getting ready to put bratwurst on the grill. And these when the cell phone cameras weren't great, and so I stuck a bratwurst in my zipper and like held it out, and my buddy snapped a picture and we sent it to her, and she literally called us back. She was like, "Oh my god, we need to hang out more."
Wait a
Like,
second.
yeah,
Wait a second.
yeah.
You put a
bratwurst, and so it's hard to see.
So it was like you're saying it. You could see the outline of it in the pants, or you
could see it in my hand from a distance, and the cell phone cameras
so
were
it looked
great.
like you had like a fucking
Like
hog just hanging out.
hog, right? And she's like, "Wow," and it was hilarious. And then
She
finally they figured it out, and they're like, "Oh my god, that was a hot dog." And I was
They're
like,
like,
"Well,
we
it's
were
a
joking
bratwurst."
too. We're not sluts.
Oh my! It was hilarious. That was the closest thing ever.
Yeah.
Right. That was it, and that was a hot dog or a bratwurst. You
Yeah.
know, it was a Johnsonville.
That's
So,
fucking hilarious.
That was it. That was the
dude.
closest thing. Never have I ever.
That's
done
crazy.
that.
You've never received one either, though, right?
No.
Wow.
No, that's
You never
not my
had
jam.
that. You know, it's funny. That brings up what I was going to say. We talked about this right before we got here, but that's the weird thing is like I told you I get these weird messages.
Dude, I've never got those.
Yeah, I get these
Explain
weird-
those, please, because I've never got that.
So I get these messages, and like I just got one right before I got here, and I was telling Gordy about it. But I get these messages, and it says like, where is it? Okay, so it says, "Hi, how are you?" ? And then I go, so I get these probably once a month, maybe more. And so normally I'll say, "I'm good. How are you?" And then they'll say, "Oh, I'm good." And then I'll say, "Who is this?" You know? And they're like, and then a picture comes of some like young Asian girl who's like, it looks like a fake picture.
Sure.
It's not like a selfie. It's like some like hot Asian girl like posing a little bit, but kind of doing it for herself. And then it's just randomly this picture of this girl. And I'm like, I think you have the wrong number. And they're like, oh, well, what are you, they kind of start going, well, what are you up
maybe
to?
I have the right number.
Yeah, and then it's like kind of that thing, trying to dig for something, and then you go, you definitely have the wrong number, and they're like, wait, this isn't, and she said, this isn't Sophia from remember I met you at yoga, and I'm like, what? I'm like, no, this is a dude. I'm like married, and you got the wrong fucking number.
Wow.
And then they still try to do it, but like anybody who opens up with a conversation and starts sending you pictures is there for one reason. I've explained this about the catfish thing. You would get like a person that would respond to you, or they would send you a DM, or they would send you something on Tinder that would say like, hey baby, like, what are you up to? And you'd be like, nothing, I'm just chilling. What are you up to? You'd be like, oh, just sitting here horny, touching myself, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's fake, fellas. Don't fall for that shit. That is not a real person. 9 times out of 10, first of all, it's a man.
Yes.
It is a gay man. And I've talked to some of those guys because I got so good at spotting it that I would say, dude, I know you're a gay dude. Like, just tell me. And this guy one time was like, how the fuck do you know that? Like, no one, I get this shit on everybody. I'm like, dude, you guys do this to me all the time. I've just figured it out. And they told me that they would like get their friends, like girlfriends' pictures, which I don't believe, of them nude. I don't think that's what they're doing. I think they're just stealing pictures from online. But it's just like, I think guys are so gullible. I think, these girls are like, or these guys are sending these pictures, or girls, and they're getting them to send them their dick pics. Dude, I did it.
Yeah.
When I was single, I sent my dick pic out and sent pictures of me fucking playing with myself. Like, dude, I've sent stuff like that to, obviously looking back, now I know they were men. And they probably came while I was caming.
Oh my gosh. It's a trip that you get them on your phone though. I get real estate texts.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to sell your house? And I know it's like some kind of bot, but these are all like some kind of bots. Like, I don't know, dude. It's crazy. Like, it's some sort of bot trying to trap you into some kind of like Chinese intelligence.
AI,
or something,
man.
Dude.
It's all this new technology.
So, dude, there's apps now. Like, I'll see the ads for them on like TikTok. First of all, my TikTok followers are nothing but bots. Dude, I'll get like every day, like, oh, you got a new follower. And it's like some chick with a big chest. And it's like,
I know.
This doesn't exist. This is a bot. And it's like, shit. And so I got
they do that shit to keep
bots.
you interested, in the app,
Whatever.
And maybe
care.
it is a person, but it's not that person.
Right.
But guys are so fucking stupid, dude. They get this text and they're like, you're sitting there touching yourself?
Yeah.
Oh, well, are you wet? And then they feed right into it. And then they're so far into the conversation, they're turned on. And I don't even think they would care if they found out it was a guy. They're probably like, well, fuck it. Just keep talking to me like that.
Dude, they've got apps. And like I said, I've seen them advertised on TikTok where now you basically have this AI girlfriend. Like, you can text back and forth and even send voice messages to an AI girlfriend.
What?
And it's, you can.
Is she talking dirty to you?
I have no idea what it talks about.
That's fucking
But it's literally
sick.
like, hey, babe,
You could
what's
probably
going
tell.
on?
You could probably tell it to talk about whatever.
Whatever.
You know how fucking twisted that is. Let's
gonna
be honest.
It's going to
dude.
really mess some people
That's
up who are
twisted,
antisocial.
dude. It's gonna mess some people up that are antisocial. It's gonna mess people up that aren't like, I don't know. Maybe it is a good way for people who are antisocial to like learn how to talk to a woman. I don't know.
But then you're gonna be. I don't. This is the weird one because, and it's, remember, what was that movie? They had that movie, right, where it was like Her or whatever. I think it was, when that guy, it was Joaquin. Well, it's not Joaquin Phoenix. What was the other dude? Anyway, the dude played. He fell in love with his phone, right? The Siri app. Basically, he was talking back and forth with it. So they launched something similar to this not too long ago, and they actually had to kibosh it because it got too real, and they had to literally, like, there were people that were like killing themselves with the fact that their robot girlfriend got taken offline, like, because they connected with it so much.
Yeah.
Like, I'm telling you,
that's scary though, man. Because you think think about it when you were young, before you were married and before you had girlfriends, and when you were trying to figure out where you're at in your life. You remember when your parents used to tell you, like, if I knew what I knew now when I was your age,
dude,
I would have destroyed.
Yes, I'm the same way now.
Fucking destroyed, dude. I mean, because when we're in high school, and fortunately those girls don't know that either. But you could always tell the ones that didn't know what people really wanted, because they were the ones that were fucking running trains, and they were in high school, dude. They were fucking everybody, and girls are like, ew, that's gross, but deep down, they didn't really realize that when a few more years, they were going to be wanting the same thing, you know?
Yeah.
But like, I forgot what we were.
Knowing now what we do now.
Yeah, knowing now what we know, but like, you don't realize it. But when you're talking to girls and you're doing these things, and like you're still shy and you're like kind of, don't really know what to say, and then but that's what I'm saying. If you knew that. Girls, like, they want you to come and be like, I'm gonna fuck the shit out of you. Like, I know
straight
it
up
sounds
tell you
shitty, but like that's how it is, And so when you're young, you're still kind of gullible and don't really know like how to talk to a woman, and like I don't know what the point was. That kind of pissed me off because I had a good point there, but yeah, it's crazy.
No, I thought about that a lot. Now I'm like, man, if I
Could you imagine
then what I know now.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot but so much has changed too. Like, would it be even apply back then? What I know now would even apply back then, because
when we
I
were
don't
younger,
have those
it's a
tools.
different time. Yeah,
different times.
Oh yeah, and you're right. You don't have the tools. You're still when you're a kid, you're still very shy, and you're still you act like you're not, but you are, dude. Like, you'd get around a girl and you'd be like, hi. Yeah, you'd be like, oh my gosh, she's touching my leg. She's touching my leg. Remember that shit?
Right.
Like,
she's holding my hand.
Oh my god, her foot's right there. Oh, we're touching each other's feet. Like that was that's how we thought, and we were so lame for thinking like
back
that.
In the day,
dude, we'd be sitting in class hard because some girls like fucking
got good perfume on.
Yeah, or just whatever. Like, that's so like disturbing. But
and now they're like, hey, what's up, nude?
Yeah, exactly.
Now it's like, hey, what's going on, nude pic?
Yeah,
like just in your inbox, just like that.
Like, I know, it's like Beckham's school, man. Like, they're saying that these kids are like meeting in certain parts across the street from the school, and they're like fucking screwing each other and giving each other blowjobs, and like,
wow,
they're doing this kind of stuff in fucking junior high, dude. That's so.
Junior high is wild though, man.
It was for me too.
It was.
I mean, I wasn't having sex in junior high, but my friends were all having sex. And
dude,
like,
junior high is wild. Junior high is wilder than high school. Like, junior high is like going to jail.
It's a shit show, yeah, because
it's literally
nobody
like going to jail,
because you just found out that you want to fuck everything that walks,
right?
And you don't know how to control it yet. To whereas when you get to high school, at least you like have a little respect for yourself,
Yeah, it's like prison though. Like, cliques start to form, like they do inside.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, it is literally
you're
like
actually right.
Fight or get fought. Like, it's crazy. Like, junior high is. I hated it. I hated junior high.
Yeah, I didn't like
much
it
better in high school. Junior high was awful, but it literally was like survival of the fittest.
You liked high school better,
right? High school was much better. I
so
leveled out
me
easier.
Too, yeah.
Like, I figured out where I was. You don't know what you are.
No.
You got a bunch of schools converging into one school.
I was a 4.0 student up until when I finished 5th grade. 4.0 student, didn't miss classes, didn't talk back to people, just got my first girlfriend when I was in 5th grade, and we would hold hands. We wouldn't do anything, and then I got to 6th grade, and I turned into a complete dude. I flunked everything. I was talking back to teachers. I was trying to get girlfriends all the time, and like, it fucked me up. And I didn't know how to act, and I didn't know how to control myself, and I became like a nightmare of a kid. And it went on for 6th, 7th, and then I think the end of my 8th grade year, I finally started to be like, okay, girls don't like the way I'm acting anyways. I need to control myself. And then I got to freshman year, and then it got high school was a lot of fun. I liked it, and I was a lot better with who I was,
Yeah, no, for sure. But good. I'm glad I know, because when my kids get to junior high, I'm like, all right, we got or middle school now. They have middle school,
yeah.
Because we just had 7th and 8th.
Yeah,
Like,
we had
just
sixth,
a
seventh, and eighth.
full legit.
We were like
junior high.
we were like one of the very few schools that had that.
Yeah, now it's kind of
just seventh and
commonplace.
eighth.
Yeah. See,
Yeah.
now that where I'm at, they switched it back and forth, but it was just a junior high school. So at that point, dude, it was seventh and eighth. So like you just had two classes, and
Yeah.
it was crazy.
Yeah.
Back then. But that's when people started like messing with drugs and
Yep.
like sex and all that stuff. Like,
Yeah.
Now it's just this poor innocent kid like trying to
I know
weave my way through it all, bro.
Yeah, I know it sucks. And it's these little moments that when you look back on, like, man, if he wouldn't have lived there, would I've ever gotten into some of the stuff I got into? Because I had a neighbor, he was like my best friend growing up, and he lived a block down on the same street. He was on the corner house a block up, and so I was at his house all the time. Well, his mom and his dad divorced, and he moved out. They had a really nice house. They had money, and anyway, she kept the house, and it was like a party house. They were kind of a party family, but they were married.
Yeah.
And then she was a single mom, and he had an older sister who was hot, and like she would tell the sister like, hey, watch them while I go out all night and go drink. She'd bring guys back, and we'd be pissing in their cars and like fucking egging their cars, and like, dude, we would fuck with these guys so bad, and she knew it. We used to actually watch her have sex with the guys. We would spy on them through the window, and we'd be like knocking to try and get them to stop, and she would hear it, and she'd just be getting her fucking brains pounded out.
Wow.
And she'd be like, go away. And we're just like looking at her from me to you. She's getting railed, and she was good looking, but anyways, like, it was just, those were the things. Like, when I look back, when she would go out, we would drink her tequila that was in the thing. Or
Yeah.
we would invite girls over, and we'd be showering with them or skinny dipping in the pool. 6th grade, dude.
Damn.
7th grade. And like, my son's in 7th grade. I couldn't even imagine. I don't even know if he would understand how to do all that. So I wish that if that one person wouldn't have been there, like if he wouldn't have lived on that street, like maybe I would have had an opportunity to not get into that stuff at an early age, because I think it kind of set me, and my sister was 2 years older. So when I was in 6th, she was in 8th. When I was a freshman, she was a junior. So like, she was a big part of kind of what I was doing too. So
Yeah. Well, that can go either way now. But now with technology, you can also keep track of your kids a little bit better.
Yeah.
So there's that. You can kind of track where they're at, making sure they're not staying out of that nonsense. But they need to get into some nonsense so they learn lessons.
Yeah.
Like, lessons are important.
You can't shelter your kids too
Cannot
much.
insulate them completely.
My and when you say the tracking stuff, my nephew, I told you that I had talked to him before, and I used to say, hey man, because with my problems, I always said like, hey, if you ever do drugs, like, I won't be mad at you. Just talk to me about it.
Sure.
Having sex, like, I'm not your parents. I'm your uncle. So like, let's just talk about it. I used to talk to him all the time, and he would tell me like, no, I'm not really into girls. I'm not doing drugs or drinking.
Right.
I think I told you, like, just last year, he's talking with his buddies in front of me, and he's telling me stories about when they would be getting fucked up and smoking weed and fucking girls through his window. And I'm like, you fucking lied to me, dude? Like, are you serious? He's like, yeah. And so anyways, he had a tracker on his phone. I'm like, how'd you get out of that? He's like, I can't tell you how many nights I would call my mom, and I had to drive back to the person's house drunk and like call from the front yard and be like, yeah, we're getting ready to go to sleep. They told me they used to walk up to random people's houses, knock on the door, and be like, see, I'm here, mom. And someone come to the door, and it was just some stranger. But like, they said they used to get out of some crazy. So the tracking devices, dude, you got to like, even.
That's nuts.
We didn't have to deal with that, so we don't know the way to get around it. They do, Kids adapt, dude. They'll fucking.
They'll find a way.
They're resilient.
Yeah, I guess it depends though too. Like, you can just be good. I mean, I don't know. I was a pretty good kid. Like, I didn't get any sort of wild until college. So with just, I think, the appropriate time. Like, I mean, I had fun in high school, but I wasn't stupid.
Yeah.
I had siblings that were stupid. I like figured it out. Like, I got better days ahead, and we'll save it for them better days. So anyway, that's where I rolled out.
Yeah. College was fun.
That was the big one right there, was the college.
I had a lot of fun in high school though, but it's scary, man. Our kids are gonna be there soon, dude. Hey, are your boys doing baseball right now?
They are. I'm coaching too, so
How's that going?
We had the first game the other night, man. It's exhausting because
Wait,
it's the coach pitch league. So I gotta
shit,
throw.
yeah.
You gotta throw a bunch of pitches, and if they don't hit it, you gotta get the tee out and like.
They get to hit it.
Anyway, yeah. So
How old are they? They're 4 and
6.
4 and 6.
Yeah. So
Are they
and
on
I
the
got
same
them
team.
both.
They're not on the same team, right?
I did. I called the little one up to the
shit.
to the same team. So
Is
he's
he-
like a little guy playing with the big kids, but it's all right. It's fine.
Yeah.
Because
Can he throw though? Like
he can
okay.
throw and he can hit too.
Yeah.
He just was struggling in the first game, but it's fine. I'm just like he needs that 2 teams last year, man, trying to bounce around with like 2 different, one in T-ball, one in a coach pitch thing. It was too much. I'm
Yeah.
like, you're coming up with the big kids this year.
Yeah.
So he'll be all right.
We're calling you up,
Calling
buddy.
you up, playing with the big
From
boys.
the minors. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're doing baseball, and we've got we're good too, man.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't coach baseball because tax season, but I probably will from here on out. But Blake, you know, he's a catcher. And he's dude. He's made just like soccer last year. He made a big jump this year. He hit a grand slam his second game.
Nice.
He hit a home. He hits like the inside the park homers all the time,
Sure.
but he'll get like a triple and then there's an error and he gets home. But he does it like he's an aggressive base runner. But anyways, this last game we got into another fight.
Oh,
I
God.
didn't though. I didn't.
Oh,
And I was
you
actually
weren't.
quiet.
You're like
But,
these bastards
yeah,
fighting.
I was
can't
like,
believe
you
you're fighting these sports.
yeah. But yeah,
All
you
judgy
low,
and shit.
you piece of shit. This is
You're
a
all-
kid's sport.
You're all judgy from the stands.
Yeah, but no, so this other coach I knew the other coach. He's one of my clients, and then the head coach is a guy I don't really know, but I've met him a few times, and I know he's a dick. Like he's an arrogant fucking type of a guy, and so I told our coach, who I help practice, I help him coach, I help him do things. But I was like, look, man, this guy we're playing, he doesn't like, and they don't like each other. I go, he doesn't like you, so he's a prick, and depending on how this game goes, it could get kind of ugly, so just be careful. And he's like, oh, I'll be fine. And our coach is one of those guys, he knows the book. He's like,
Gotcha.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
people
yeah.
don't like him because he's a fucking, kind of a smartass. But sure enough, dude, Blake gets up there, smacks a triple, throws in 2 runs. First pitch, dude, I said, you swing at it because they got good pitchers. As they go after it, and he hit a triple, got to third, and then the next batter, the fucking, I guess, the umpire supposedly like made a bad call and struck the kid out, and it was like, anyways, this guy blows up, dude, and he's yelling at this umpire, and the umpire is like, dude, I've had 3 problems. He's screaming. This kid's like 14. The umpire, he's like, I've called your game 3 times. I've had a problem with you 3 times, and the guy's like cussing at him. He's like, fuck you. He's like, you're not gonna throw
What?
this. Dude, it got crazy, and I'm sitting there.
Did he
going,
toss the coach? Did the
he
umpire
tossed,
I was
he
gonna
tossed
say,
the
like,
coach.
see ya.
And the whole time he's leaving, he's like, "Oh, my boys, get off the field. We're not playing." And the
Oh,
whole
see, that's
crowd
wrong.
is like, "Boo!"
Yeah, go
They're
away.
like yelling, "Go away, you loser!" Dude, it was so funny, and the whole time I'm just going, "Thank God that's not me." Because
Yeah.
the whole time I was going, "He looks really stupid right now."
Oh, right.
He did.
Yeah.
You know. And I never gotten like that. I want to make that clear. But, well, last year I kind of did. But it was just funny, dude.
So it was more of an umpire coach fight.
Yeah, but I love, dude, baseball. Get your boy, one of them in catcher, dude. Blake
I was a catcher. Yeah, yeah.
Blake's a little stud, dude. He's
Yeah.
throwing people out. He throws out people.
Catcher's
that are
good for the
stealing.
kids that want to be active.
And that's Blake.
My
You
dad
know
told me
how
years
Blake
ago,
is.
my dad's like, look, you can play in the outfield and get the ball hit to you 4
and just
times
be
a game.
sitting there like this.
Yeah, he's like, or you can be the catcher and you can get involved on every pitch.
Single play. And
every single pitch.
that was my conversation with Blake when
Yes.
it came down to him playing, because he has a really good arm. So it was either play third
Yeah.
or catch, because he can get the ball easily to first base. But so I was like, and I know how he is. He gets bored out in third. He's just sitting there like barely able to stay awake. Catcher, he's fucking screaming at everybody, man on second. You got to back him
Right.
up in left
Right.
field. Like he's on it, and because he's that way, it's actually been really good for him. I love it, dude. Like
Yeah.
I can't wait till your kids get a little bit older and you start to see, man, like
I told my wife that the other night.
your kids'
'cause
sports, it's just the best.
Coaching
dude.
the little league, like the little kids right now at this age, it's basic, right? You know, like the other game the other night, like even when the other team was hitting, I would kind of be the catcher for the other team and help their kids like get lined up in the
Yeah.
box, right? That sort of thing. Super basic stuff. But I told my
Yeah.
wife the other night, I said, I can't wait till they're a little older and I'm coaching little league where I can tell them to like throw at kids and that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, like I want a little strategy.
Hey, you put your wild guy in there.
Be like, look, that kid's crowding the plate. You need to brush him back a little bit. You know,
Yep.
like teach him the finer rules
like
of the game.
7 years old
Like,
when they
hey,
first start pitching.
that kid peeped that home run a little bit too much. You
Yeah.
might want to brush the
Yep.
next boy back with a pitch. You know,
Yeah.
send a message. You know,
That's
that
why
kind of stuff.
what you do is you always got a wild one, you know, that you put him in there and he's hitting 3 people for sure, dude.
Right.
He has no control.
Exactly.
And he throws hard. You know,
He
it's one of
throws
those
hard.
guys. You know, they start doing something or the coach gets loud, you're like, Jimmy,
Yep.
you're up, buddy.
You're
and
in.
then he's in there for about 3 or 4 hitters, and it's just to knock the shit out of people, scare the other dugout, and
Right.
then the game goes on.
And
It's
then you're
funny.
good. Yeah. No, I can't wait for those days. But that's
Yeah.
and that's the part too about
Enjoy it though, dude, because it's my favorite thing that I've ever done in my life. And I've said it before. It's my favorite thing that I've ever done in my life is being a part of my kids' sports.
Yeah.
Not even just coaching, just and not only that, work with him and like make him and help him to become a good athlete, because it's so cool when your kid's a stud, dude.
Yeah.
And not saying I wouldn't have fun if he wasn't, but it's really fun when you get to watch your kid. He's such a good athlete, man. And it's really cool when you get to watch that. And I think any kid can have it happen. And you get these kids that come out on the team, and you're like, what the fuck are you doing? And the parents, they don't work with them.
Yeah.
They don't do anything with them, dude. And they just bring them out there, and they get mad.
Eaters, yeah.
They get mad because they can't. Dude, some of these kids, they can't even throw a baseball.
Right.
They literally cannot throw a baseball, and they can't hit a ball. They can't catch a ball. Nothing, dude. But these parents put them out there. I'm like, work with them, dude. Like,
just want a
take them
babysitter.
to the batting cages. Throw the ball with them. I guarantee they've never played catch with them before. I play catch for hours with Blake.
Yeah.
I take him to the batting cages 3-4 times a week. I'm pitching him wiffle balls in the backyard. Dude, I'm like, you got to work with your kids unless you're okay with them just being a fucking shit athlete. That shit isn't fun, dude. It's not fun when you go to a game and your kid's the worst kid on the team. Oh, hell no. I wouldn't even put my kid out there.
I'm probably gonna have to coach soccer this year too, so we'll make that debut there.
Dude, I'm
coached that
bummed.
before.
Yeah, I'm bummed. Blake, he wants to play tackle football.
Oh, okay.
So and I'm like, over soccer? He's like, yeah, he's going to play that traveling football team.
Oh, okay.
And I'm going to help coach. It's one of my clients that is the head coach, and he wants me to do
There's
it.
a new league around here now too. So
Cowboys.
Yeah, there's.
it?
I don't. Well, there's another league though they created, like
Oh.
the Valley Youth League. Instead
Oh,
of
yeah,
the
yeah,
other
I
one.
know. Yeah, this one is, it's the only team in Bakersfield. They're
Yeah.
the Cowboys. They're
They
like
travel.
the Bakersfield
Yeah, yeah.
team. And then they charter buses. Whoever owns it's got money. But we go up and down California, and we play all these other teams. And, like,
Okay.
it's supposed to be pretty good. I mean, they did it last year.
I
And
know
they won the
somebody who's got a
championship.
kid on that. Yeah.
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 But it's competitive, though. And he's got some buddies there on the team, and he's been practicing with them. And so he's like, I'm like kind of bummed because soccer is his best sport. Actually, baseball might be now, but he's really good at soccer. So I said, we're going to do football, and if you don't love it, we're going back to soccer next
Yeah.
year because I love soccer. So,
Well, when
and
you
he's
get-
doing wrestling right now.
That's good. That'd be the best
Yeah.
thing for him, man. You
Yeah.
know, keep him in that for sure. But if he gets to high school and he doesn't like, and he likes both football and soccer, he can play both at the same time because one's in the winter and one's in the
Yeah.
fall. So he can actually play both of them when he gets to
But
that
baseball and
And
actually,
baseball,
you could he could do all three. The only one that's going to be, I remember wrestling was always right before football season, and then you would always miss a little bit of practice.
point. Yeah.
For football season.
Now it's backwards. So now wrestling's a winter sport in high school. So you can actually you go from
So could you play football, soccer, baseball, and wrestling all in one
no,
year?
you can only do 3 sports. So you'd have to do
Wait, why can you only do 3?
Because soccer and wrestling are winter sports.
Okay,
together.
so that's what it is. All
So
right.
you have to figure it out. So I did football, wrestling, baseball.
Yeah.
And that's a grind, but
Yeah.
it's good for you. The wrestling part's good for you.
Yeah.
Helps you in every other sport, unlike anything else.
Yeah. Oh
Encourage
yeah,
that.
wrestling, gymnastics. There's a new study that says that not making your kids work out heavy, but having your kids work out at a younger age actually does help.
Yeah.
Not now it's different when you're powerlifting, that kind of stuff. No, keep that away from.
When
But,
they're like,
like,
come on, pussy.
yeah, you fucking fat. Yeah.
more, motherfucker.
You're just screaming at
Not
him.
that.
Like his face is right here. And you're like, you fucking just going off on him.
Not that kind of lifting.
No, just like, calisthenics, push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, even like light deadlifts, light, chest press, but only going down, like laying on your back and like it only goes down to the ground. Then you do this, you
Yeah.
don't mess up your rotator cuffs. But there is ways. So like we've gotten into that with Blake and like
Yeah.
Blake's a good. And,
It's good
yeah.
it's good. I mean, that's the thing. All these things with kid
And
problems,
it's
man,
good
you
to
get them
be
involved.
dedicated and like
Get them involved in stuff, and then also getting involved as parents too.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a big part of it. That's why sports are so important.
Yep.
And even girls, man, get them going.
Yeah.
Get them going that now.
I love it.
So that'll help them when they're older, so they're not in high school. With daddy issues.
I think it helped. Yeah, fuck that though. I don't want my girl to have daddy issues, but I loved meeting girls with daddy issues.
Right, that's part of the problem. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you want your daughters to keep away from people like Nick
me.
in high school, be involved, get them involved in sports when they're young.
And I mean, I think sports and like learning to dedicate yourself to stuff like that and like work hard at it, I think it helps you in your adult life. Having a job or whatever it is you do.
100%.
So,
100%.
Yep.
All right. I think you did it again. I think you did it again.
Man, what did I do again?
2 episodes.
We crushed it.
I'm
going to be honest with you. I feel pretty good about it.
Pretty good.
What do you think?
I don't know. We may invite her back.
Yeah, we'll see.
She is the namesake of the show, though.
I know. Damn it. It should have been like, we'll think of a new name.
Yeah.
So we're going to make
spin-off.
We'll make a new name for these 2 episodes. It'll still be under Heather, but it's going to be like Gordy and Nick tell all or something. I don't know. All right. Well, that's the end of this episode. And thank you guys once again. We're so excited to be back now full time. We'll be doing our usual 2 days a week. I think it's Tuesdays and Fridays.
Yep.
And so, yeah, we're glad to be back. And remember, this podcast is brought to you by HeatherPresley.com, which is our amazing clothing line. We got a lot of new summer stuff. We got all kinds of stuff going on, and we got a sale going on. So it's either 2023 or it's just a part of the discount. It's just there when you check out. It's automatic. So, and I believe it's 60% off. So go check it out, and we will see you next time with Heather.
Yes.
If we let her back on the show. We're still up in the air. Yeah, so we'll see. All right, guys.